Hey guys, how's it going? Onage here and welcome to a new career mode of F1 2014 here on the channel. Time for round 7, the Canadian Grand Prix. It's also time for the first practice session and the final practice session since there only is one. And actually it is dry at the moment, but there was some rain predicted for this session. As you can see, the skies are pretty grayish as well. So we went out straight away pretty much on that prime tire, and it's a pretty nice track here. A lot of people really seem to like this track. I personally, I don't think it's bad or anything like that, but for me it's not really such a special track, it's just average, I guess. But anyway, first lap completed and I was in the 120s, kicking off with a 120.5, but obviously we will improve quite a bit on that since we are still on that prime tire. And it was my first lap around this track in the game. Now 119.1, so we're getting a little bit quicker, but actually behind Grosjean at the moment, who is at a 0.1 as well, but 4/100 quicker than us at the moment. So we skip a little bit later, this time 4/10s up, going to push a little bit more, as you can see here, going a little bit deep into this this hairpin, which is a very important hairpin as it leads onto this long straight. But yeah, actually coming back onto that track thing, I actually, every single track I have driven so far in career mode has been the first time I went out on the track in the game, except for Silverstone and Austria, as we cut a little bit of that final chicane, coming a little bit close to the wall there. Cut a little bit of the chicane, but it's a little bit inevitable around this track, really. Very hard to not cut it, but I'll try my best. So as you saw there, got improved my time by 8/10, and having a little bit of a moment there, a bit of oversteer out of the exit of the final chicane, but I kept on going, and still a slight improvement, and 4/10s up currently on our teammate, so that's very good. But as you can see, raindrops were starting to fall. This was I think with actually after 10 minutes in the session it already started to rain, so I made some setup changements I should say, because you can also see here I'm going to change the stiffness. But yeah, I only got 10 minutes really to run on that prime tire. I could have gone on the option tire, but I don't think I actually did that. And still, as you can see, they're running on that engine unit too. Then later in the session, a lot later in the session, it actually still was intermediate conditions, I would say, although the skies are pretty damn dark, so it's probably going to go to a full wet soon. But anyway, I went out on the track. Usually this is not what I want to do, you know, I want to save some mileage on the engine, but I had the feeling, you know, that I just had to get a feeling for the track in wet conditions, since there was also rain predicted for both qualifying and race. So yeah, that's pretty much why I went out here, get a feel for those conditions, and then see what we can do. So it's pretty wet though. I think it's actually almost ready for full wet, but I still kept on going, as I said, trying to get a feel for it. I think I did like 2-3 laps maybe, and then it got too wet and I went into the pits, but still keeping on going for the moment. As I said, just trying to actually get used to the weather here. So there we go, at the end of that lap I put into the pit lane, and that was it for our practice session. As you can see there, we are in 8th place at the end of that, in front of our teammate obviously, who was down in 12th position, and Ericsson in the end was in last position there. So getting ready for qualifying now, getting into the car, and luckily it is dry. I was so pleased to see it you know, being dry out there when I looked outside of the box, because I know that I would struggle a lot probably in the rain. So well, going really quickly through the setup there. I'll show the setup a little bit later, more in slow motion for the race obviously. That's what I always do. Anyway, we're gonna go out on track right now, testing the DRS there, see if it works. I think it was in Malaysia where we had a DRS failure. Anyway, going to start the lap right now. So DRS is wide open, we have 2 DRSs around this track, this is one of them, and we go across the start finish line right now. But as you can see, I went for the prime tire. Interestingly enough, I thought I was comfortable enough to go through to Q2 on the prime tire. We'll see whether that has been a good choice, but still we keep on going. By the way, rain was expected for this first practice session already, but currently it's driver's lead, going a little bit too much over that curb there. Got some oversteer. We now completed the first sector, going into this corner. It's a very tricky left right, especially the exit over here. It's very tricky to put the power down without getting too much wheel spin. So going to rich mixture for this little straight here in between the corners, in between the chicanes, because here's another one. Right, left, going too much over the curb, unsettled the car, and I got some oversteer there. As we now head down into turn 11, the hairpin seems pretty stable, hitting the apex there as well. Turn 12 and turn 13 over here, even though there aren't really turns, that are more or less kings. And now down this long back straight here, opening up the DRS. Jarvis is set at 117.3. That's a really quick lap time, breaking at a 1 on the leaderboard for this final chicane. Right, left, jumping over the curb there, didn't cut the corner, but it was pretty sweet. Opening up the DRS now for the run to line. Here we go, 70.3 to beat. It will definitely not be 70. It's even in the point 18, so 18.3 and a second down on Gutierrez. Luckily, we still have a little bit of fuel, I think, or do we back out of it? Nope, we still have enough fuel, so we come down through these chicanes here. This time taking quite a bit of curb, but definitely not a cut there. That was pretty okay-ish, although we still got some oversteer. Here's turn 7, 2 tenths up, but that's not enough. I need to be up more. Still keep pushing, put the power down, bit of oversteer, touching the grass even there. It's pretty much inevitable. And now we go to turns 9 and 10. Right, left once again, 4th gear, over the curb, over that curb as well. Bit of oversteer. It was actually pretty sweet. That was not too bad. Here's the text point we just went over for the race. 4 tenths up this time. A little bit better, but not where we want it to be. One more time coming through the chicane, or sorry, the hairpin. So many chicanes around this track that I forgot that there's even a hairpin. Anyway, coming down the straight again, opening up the DRS. Up to 8th gear, and this will be the final chance we get on the rich mixture at least. Break at 1 on the board, down to 4th gear once again. Oh, missing the apex there of that first right-hander, even touching the barrier on the exit. Not a great corner at all, and I think I've just lost everything that I've gained. Indeed, a 118.1, only 2 tenths up in the end, so I lost about 3, maybe even more, thanks to that mistake. So I saw that it was definitely the wrong choice, so I went again out on the super soft tire. And well, this needs to be it, you know. I'm down into P18 at the moment. We need to improve right now. So entering this first couple of corners here, too wide there of the apex. Not great, you know. It just doesn't look great. Not having the flow here. Coming up to turn 4 and 5, and again missing my apex. You know, it's the first apex which I constantly keep missing. Still one tenth up. Just have another luck of what a well, sorry for my language, but so far it's an absolute shit lap. Once again coming through this straight, and I wonder, you know, should I back out of it right now? Because this lap has been so bad. We have a 117.7 by Magnus, a bit more oversteer there as well. It's just not a good lap. Let's see at the sector time here. 4 tenths down. We are 4 tenths down. Going to mix 1 then. That's the point where I do realize that we are not going to improve. So we have one more shot at it, but it's starting to rain. You can see the raindrops falling on track right now. And well, I actually let the car behind us through, which is a Sauber. Gutierrez? No, it was Sutil. I let him through because he was in my mirrors the whole time and it can get your attention. So I thought it was better to just let him go and then start another fresh lap. So this needs to be the lap. Otherwise it will probably be too late with the rain. So here we go, entering the second corner. And oh, but a big cut. That's a big cut. Yeah, we spotted that cut. I think that's it. It's it. It is it. That is it. A big shame. I come back into the pit lane being embarrassed because we are not gonna go through to Q2 here. It is too late to do another lap. It started to rain. The track conditions aren't as great anymore, even with the super soft tire. And when you make a cut like that, it is a stupid rookie error and it's going to put you down into 19th place, and that is deserved. You know, I mean, that is just so stupid. We need to improve for the race. Our teammate in the end, 11th place, and Lewis Hamilton was on pole. But look what happened actually in the background here. Look at the background. Look at our teammate. I think that's our teammate. Look, I don't know what this is all about, but yeah, I had to laugh quite a bit about this. Even though because of that result, because let's be honest, that was not the result we have wanted. I'm actually struggling this weekend. I cannot get the right flow around this track, And I don't know, we just need to improve the race, but also rain predicted for the race. It will be hard. If you have enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like, and that is pretty much it. See you for the race. Hopefully we can do better. Goodbye.